Andre thing, I mean, you never want to hear that, especially in your home crowd. He's busted his ass and played hard for this franchise for I don't know how many years now, and we wouldn't be where we are without him. So if that was directed at him personally, then I don't really understand it, but I honestly didn't really pay much attention to it during the game.
Are you ready?
Alright peeps, how's it going? So, I'm starting off calm. I don't know if I'm going to stay that calm or not. It's been a relatively good day. It's nice outside. I'm trying to enjoy the day. But nonetheless, you heard Blake Griffin in the beginning defending Andre Drummond. And from what I've seen on social media and YouTube, and even in person, because I was at Game 3. For those of you guys who don't know I said it 1,000 times, but I was there. My section in particular, even the buddy I went with, were dogging Drummond for being soft, which has not had a good game this entire series. I'm not making excuses for him there. Game 3 was probably one of the worst games of his career. Just didn't have the effort. But here's the thing. I'm going to make a bunch of bullet points, just bounce everywhere. These might not intertwine, it might not be pretty, it might go all over the place, but I'm going to try to get to everything that I want to talk about. First off, his teammates constantly let him down. Not bad-mouthing them locker room-wise or chemistry-wise, but you get offensive rebounds from their poor shot taking and don't get foul calls when you get put up, or you kick it back out and they miss another one, or just the constant bad defense on their part, which they leave Drummond on an island all by himself to rim protect, and he gets in foul trouble. I mean, there's just a combination of gameplay of his teammates just not living up to what they're supposed to be. And that's another thing right there, is you guys are single-handedly blaming Drummond for this playoff series. It's not just Drummond's fault we're losing. It hasn't helped that he's not putting up 20-20 games, but he just had a 15-15 game the other night. That's pretty damn good. But you don't have your best offensive player in Blake Griffin for the first 2 games. He comes back game 3 and drops 27 points. But Dwayne Casey just doesn't do it for me, man. Just the game plan, the same handoff thing with him, it's stupid. It doesn't work all the time. And it worked for a minute. It was doing really well. But you play NBA basketball. Teams adjust. Milwaukee's one of the best defensive teams in the league. You can't give them the same looks. I mean, you got to change it up. You're not running the best play for Drummond. He is most effective in the pick and roll. That is what he is good at. That is what our point guards on this team are good at. It opens up the floor for shooters, and it really makes your offense that whole much better. So, there's a combination of things just like that. I'm not liking the trade Drummond or anything like that. I don't even want to re-talk about that. Just let me say this, okay? If you trade Andre Drummond, that team is going to get better, and you are not going to get anything back in return that's going to be as useful. You might clear up some salary cap. That might be good. I don't know how you want. I don't want to be inside your mind, because it's really messed up. But let me say this: if you trade him to say Boston right now, and if Kyrie Irving resigns, Boston is going to be the first or second seed in the East, depending on how Milwaukee adjusts. They would be lethal. That would be their missing link. That would make them legit. They would be a title contender, not that they're not already, but that would put them over the hump. They would be super good. You even put him on Milwaukee. I don't even want to picture that, man. That is a crazy thought. Let's see. You can't put him on the Sixers because they already got Joel Embiid. You put him on the Pacers. They don't really have a good point guard. They run pretty much everything through Oladipo. Charlotte. You put him on Charlotte, and Charlotte shoots up. You will probably be out of the playoffs if you trade him to Charlotte. That would just be nasty with him and Kemba Walker. That is leading me to my next point. The teams that he would be traded to would have a good point guard. He would flourish. He hasn't had a good point guard his entire career. His best 2 point guards are Reggie Jackson and Brennan Jennings. Not knocking out of those guys. Those guys are solid, but they're not all-stars. And both of those guys are really more scoring point guards. I could even say Will Bynum, because he got a lot of oops from Will Bynum, but he wasn't even a starter. Let me take a drink. I'm getting thirsty. He needs someone who facilitate the ball with him. The pick and roll is what Drummond thrives in. When he gets 30 points, it doesn't happen often. Guess what? They run a lot of pick and rolls. That's what Drummond needs to be in almost every play that's involved. That should be your starting point to your offense. And if you want to do a little gay handoff thing, then go for it. This team just doesn't have enough talent yet, okay? This season, I think we set too high expectations for him. Because we got Blake Griffin, a legit all-star and superstar. And for a minute there was a time he was in the MVP conversation. But then we fell off. You guys are going to mess around and make Andre Drummond not want to be here. And that is not going to be cool. The boos were crazy. I'm not kidding. I don't know how well you guys heard it on TV because I haven't gone back and rewatched the game. But they booed loud. I mean, just about everybody who was in there was booing him. And at the same time chanting MVP for Blake. I know Blake is the better offensive scorer, but Drummond's the future. He is younger, more potential still. You guys got to realize how young he is. He's just now getting to his prime. He did not look like when the boost started, like he wanted to be there. He felt betrayed. I mean, this guy puts in the dirty work. We go as Andre goes. If Andre's not having a good game, odds are we're not going to win. I mean, very rarely does Andre have a bad game when we win. It's super rare. I mean, the one game that sticks out this season is when Blake dropped 50 and had to hit the game winner. That was about it. This season, at least. We go as Dre goes. When he's doing good, we're going to be in the game. But the boos shouldn't have happened. I mean, he's really the face of this team. Him and Blake Griffin, it's like a shared thing. Blake's just doing what's best for the team, even though technically it is his team. Drummond's really the face of it. Drummond's been here longer. Everyone knows him better, media-wise. So, I mean, just you guys gotta treat Drummond better, man. I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, he's a great guy for the city. Everything he does with the Special Olympics is incredible. He does a great guy for the community. And you guys are just running him out of Detroit. You're doing the same thing you do with Stafford. Only you can't really stat pad in the NBA like you can, unless you're Russell Westbrook. That's a different story. But Drummond gets all his stuff the hard way. Nothing he does is easy, and there's really no reason to stat pad in the NBA because there's no benefit to it. You might get a bigger contract, but it doesn't help you win games. Like in the NFL, when you stat pad at the end of the game, it gets you closer a little bit. But nonetheless, man, the boos weren't necessary. You guys are entitled to your own opinion, of course. But I'm seeing a lot of only keeping Luke Kennard and all the younger guys on the roster. It's not. You're closer to being competitive year in and year out than rebooting and starting this franchise over again. I mean, the first year under Dwayne Casey and Blake Griffin, new era, you make the playoffs. And you might get swept. Game 4 is the 9th. This could be the last time this season we talk about the Pistons. So you have to take this as an overachievement. I know there was realistic expectations at the beginning of the season of having a home field or court playoff series. And then halfway through the season, we were out of it. And we were really fighting for 6. Our goal was to make 6. And we didn't get there. We got 8th. You should just be happy we made the playoffs, because this is a huge step, okay? Dwayne Casey is a better coach than Stan Van Gundy. No matter how mad I get or anyone else gets at Dwayne Casey for play calling or anything like that, he's still better than Stan Van Gundy. So just think about that before we criticize everybody. This team is close. You got salary cap coming in. You got contracts going away. You got some good stuff happening to make some moves. There's some quality free agents out there. You got the 15th pick in the draft. You can find a diamond in the rough. I mean, you got Bruce Brown and Kyrie Thomas in the second round last season. Both those guys look like they're going to be all right. They're going to be solid players for us. So, guys, keep your head up. I know it's frustrating that we're about to get swept, but your best player was hurt for most of the series and towards the end of the season, and it threw everything off course. Don't just blame Andre Drummond. And I'm not saying you should be ecstatic or happy or whatever that we made the 8th seed, we're about to get swept. But at the same time, you shouldn't be mad, and especially not mad at Drummond. It's not Drummond's fault. There was times Drummond was the guy carrying this team. I mean, he went off for a crazy amount of 2020 games. Rebounding is one of the hardest things to do, except for shoot threes like Steph Curry does. And he's the best in the league at it. He's a different kind of player than what you guys want. He does all the dirty work and all the stuff that's not pretty and flashy, and he gets the job done most of the time. And again, he's not having a good series right now. But he has to improve his game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I'll criticize where criticism is due, but I'm not just going to hate a player just to hate him. It's not like Eric Ebron, where Eric Ebron didn't show any signs of improvement for the Lions. Drummond's gotten better each and every year, and this is his best season yet, only to get better. So keep that in mind. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't think I got that mad, so I don't have to put the parental advisory sticker on my thumbnail. So that's cool. Less work for me to do. Instagram, Twitter links in the description. Check those out. Follow me on both of those. And comment down below how you're feeling about Dre, about the playoffs in general. Anything really, man. It's been kind of an up and down roller coaster this season. I understand. Mood swings worse than a girl on her time of the month. So just stay focused on the future. Don't worry about the now. Trust me, everything happens for a reason. This is really a learning curve for Drummond. Okay, trust me. This is going to make him more of a leader. He has to be the leader of this team. So I'm gonna leave it at that before I start getting carried away. I've already rambled on for like 13 minutes. So I'll see you peeps in the next one. Thank you. Peace.